Okay. Top back off. I was like, I can do this. I wasn't going to give up. I'm sorry. It's taking a while, guys. Oh, shit. Now I just hit that. Hold on. Now you're there. I'm not sure. Yep. I want to.
15 seconds, 358 milliseconds.
How do I?
All
Alright. Hold on. Apparently I screwed this up. And I just need to let that go. And then move on with you guys over here because that's that. So, hello there. Welcome to the extremely technically challenged blind infant world of Candace. And this morning I'm sick. It's official. I am sick. But so first I have to say this video is deeply inspired and in gratitude to Scott Katanas and my connection to the divine, as well as my birth mother. So I've been working with Scott Katanas off and on for the last year or so, and we started working together again pretty regularly over the last couple months. And yesterday I had my first session with my mother joining us, and it was beautiful. And I have also been invited to join Scott and another hand-selected group of teachers, healers, lovers, people who want to expand in their capacity to be in the essence of love, whatever that means to you, with Love Coach Academy and Scott Katanas and the other beautiful teachers that he brings in, or the divine brings in. And I've really been feeling like I need something else. Like, what I'm doing right now for my emotional, spiritual, and mental health is not enough. There's something else. There's something missing. There's a step up that I need to take. And in my past, and prior to a year ago, if I felt this way, I would go on a retreat. I would go to a workshop. I would, I would figure something out. Now, as a newly blind person, that's not really that accessible to me. Traveling is very hard, and finances have gotten really challenging. So, long story short, I can't go running off to a workshop or a retreat like I used to be able to do. And maybe I'll be there again sometime, but there's so many layers and levels that make it hard for me to have access to the spiritual and healing practices and teachings of the world that I'm used to having now as a newly blind person. And Scott has a virtual online class, workshop, community, very broad spectrum Love Coach Academy virtual program that he just started and invited me into, and I'm so excited because it's like, this is something I can do. Excuse me. Like, I could have access to this. It's all on the internet, and yeah, I'm still pretty technically challenged, but on tomorrow, Tuesday, I am getting a new laptop and getting some new tech training. And in general, I am getting more technologically equipped to be able to, get back to relating to the world the way I like to. But right now, I still am in my infancy. So the way that Scott has this program designed is really good for me. I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous that I'm not going to be able to participate and interact like others because of my blindness and my infancy with technology and all of this. But I am letting go of that and just trusting that I will receive and get exactly what I'm supposed to get out of this, no matter what level of participation. Like, so this morning, I wasn't able to join the first class. Um, it's the timing is going to be one of the classes sets 2 times a week, and one time on Wednesday it's 6 p.m. Pacific time, but to me that's 9 p.m. And if you really knew me, you know when I experience like a sundowning, which usually is like around 5-ish, but we just did in New England this whole fallback thing. Well, I think it happens everywhere, but for us here, it gets dark at like 2 o'clock, which for me means I get like sundowning like an old person. I just, something that happens to me now as a blind person, and I've asked other blind people about it, and well, people that have what I have in particular, RP, retinitis pigmentosa, because it's a very unique experience of going blind. It's very different. It's hard to explain. Retinitis pigmentosa is wonky. um, okay, so I feel like I've been talking. I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to drop in to the inspiration and the medicine that I got out of my session with Scott yesterday, and the first series of this new, I would call it virtual intensive with Love Coach Academy, and taking in the first class because it's all it's recorded. So even though I wasn't there, I was able to take it in. And one of the big things that's been coming up for me, and it came up in the session, on my individual session with Scott, as well as in the first Love Coach Academy virtual intensive session series, I don't know what to call it. And it's that connection with divine, relationship to spiritual practices, and what and how am I doing that? What does that look like? How is it feeling, And I'm like, I've been sharing this, the level of emotional and spiritual bankruptcy that I have been facing and teeter-tottering on the edge of and in and out of over the last year. It really seems darker and more void than the level of spiritual and emotional bankruptcy that I felt when I was 21 and just getting out of being sex trafficked and being a prostitute and doing lots of heroin and crack and just a messy life. And, and prior to my personal relationships with that kind of lifestyle, I was born into that lifestyle. That's all I knew. And when I came out of that when I was 21, I felt pretty emotionally and spiritually void and bankrupt. But what I have witnessed and experienced and seen in the last year of going blind is a step beyond what I'm familiar with. And so I was inspired to step up into my relationship with my spiritual practices this morning with sound and movement. They are two of the many ways I like to play with spirit and divine and connection and being centered and grounded and healing. So, done talking, and we're gonna get into it. I have a really bad headache, so there's a part of my body that's saying sound is not the thing to do right now, but there's another part of me that's like, no, sound is exactly what you need right now. I'm very sound oriented, as you probably know, and movement. Okay, so I just got back by temple, and so my gong, I'm not gonna try to move the camera right now, but it's a big 33-inch hand hammered, like literally people hand hammered this for it to make the sound that it's gonna make, and it does make. I had it imported from China, direct, and the stand is a solid cherry wood made by an ex-partner. So this gong, it has a lot of energy. And I've been using it with clients and lovers and myself I've had the gongs. I've been, since I was 21, playing with all of these spiritual practices, personally and professionally. But me and this gong came into relationship just 5 years ago, maybe. So, yeah, but that's 5 years. It's a lot of people and a lot of energy. We've played a lot. This gong has been around. I've even taken it to festivals and fairs to share it. And this bowl was a gift from a client. Hello. And it's also been played with and on so many people. Alright, so let's get to it. I just want to invite you to take a moment to take a breath with me, to open up and to welcome the sound into the core of your being, and to invite the sound into assisting you, your body, your being, to move. Let the sound, let the vibration create movement in the areas in your chakra system, in your life, in your mind, in your body that you're really feeling could use some movement, a kick, some vibration, some love, some healing. Just invite it right into those parts of you or your life, however you see it. And start us with the bowl. I have all of this in proper placement for good flow, but everything's still a mess. But the sound still holds its potency no matter how messy I bring it out, no matter how I perceive it. Sound, the vibration doesn't change. My headache literally feels like it's gone, and I feel a level of joy and bliss and peace and love that I didn't have before I dove into the sound. And I'm going to leave it right there. I hope you enjoyed all of this. And thanks again to Scott and my mom, and if any of the other people that are in this series with Scott coming up or watching this video. I just look forward to diving into the work, the practices, and exploring with all of you. Yeah. So I could go on and on with my gratitude with that. And it's very hard for me to shut up because I'm so excited now. Bye.